Real quick, spoilers up to Apostasy Prologue. Also, to lay some groundwork, this video is going to cover only things that are in-game. No cut content, no community drama, and no IRL stuff. This is going to be a lot more rapid fire and a lot less structured than my normal content, so prepare yourself. When playing Nidus, if you hold your first ability, you get a rectangle showing the hitbox of Virulence. It doesn't do great with slopes though. It also shows your maggots through walls, and also gives them a little UI element, which is kinda cool. If you build up enough damage while holding Garuda's 1, the UI will display the damage in scientific notation. The damage buff from Nyx's Absorb doesn't affect melee weapons. I wonder how many of you even knew it provided a damage buff in the first place. In Excavation, you can pick up a power cell as your Warframe, and then pick up another as your operator. Sevagoth's Shadow can do Parazon finishers, but only on Thralls, Hounds, Liches, and Sisters. I know I have a whole video on this, fuck off. Wisp is the only Warframe in the game to have a unique hard landing animation. Certain tiles only appear in invasion missions. Speaking of invasions, if the attacking force wins in a Corpus vs Grineer invasion, the winner will then occupy the node. This means that you can temporarily fight Grineer in Corpus missions and vice versa. Whenever you start a Faux-Rid Assassinate mission, the ship shown in the entry cutscene is an infested Corpus obelisk. However, the actual mission tile set will always be the Grineer asteroid base. Bone Widow's 1 doesn't cost any energy when it misses, but still grants affinity. This means that you can use it to generate affinity infinitely, although it isn't really that efficient. Bone Widow's Iron Bride also has some weird tech associated with it. Basically, if you hold right-click while swinging, you will travel less distance but negate the recovery of the first and second strikes in your 3-hit combo. You can also just tap right-click during the recovery frames to cancel the recovery and still get the full range. The Void Spine's ability in the Unairu Focus School can still reflect damage while the player is invincible, namely during shield gating. Frodbeck's ship in the Ambulus boss fight is the old look for the Corpus Obelisk. This is also the case for the ship in Europa's Skybox. Using Revenant's Reeve ability on allies will give them a single charge of Mesmer Skin. Using Loki's Switch Teleport on a Dargan will cause you to instantly hijack it. By the way, did you know that Dargans use the Cloned Flesh health type? Yeah, don't think about that one too much. You can shoot this drone above a Corpus Nullifier to instantly and permanently destroy their nullification bubble. Lavos makes your Railjack abilities function on a cooldown, which in turn makes them extremely spammable. Any emote done by Wukong will be mirrored by his Celestial Twin, meaning you can give your twin a handshake. They'll even take into account any Syndicate-specific handshakes you have access to. The Penta's physical magazine increases in size as you put on magazine-increasing mods. This works on all of the Penta variants, but Carmen Penta has the highest base magazine, so the effect is most pronounced on it. Whenever you bullet jump, you deal a small amount of blast damage in a radius around you. When sliding in air, enemies you connect with will be knocked down. This also deals a small amount of damage. Companions can actually use ziplines. If you equip a max rank redirection on Necros, his shield value will display 666. This works on Sevagoth too. Loki's Irradiating Disarm augment doesn't actually place a radiation proc on enemies. If you hold out a melee weapon while kidnapping a capture target, you can still block, with the center of the block being where you point your crosshair. When playing the Shazin as Octavia, you have the option to also play her mallet. Yoreli's forward roll on Marilena has a different animation depending on whether or not you actually hold forward. This seems to be purely visual and doesn't affect the actual distance traveled at all. Yoreli also can't be knocked off of Marilena like on a normal K-drive. When you have a melee weapon equipped in manual mode, rolling while holding down block will cause you to roll a shorter distance. Venkra Prime has the unique ability to reach a 13x combo multiplier. However, mods like Weeping Wounds, Blood Rush, and the Gladiator set bonus don't scale with it, so it's basically worthless. Titania's bullet jump goes 25% farther than other Warframes. Her roll does too. In a dojo duel, spectators can summon AoE archguns and kill the people fighting inside the arena. I find that this is the easiest with the Kuva Gradler. If you fully scan the Tomb Guardians in the Sands of Inaros quest, you can summon them in the Simulacrum. You can also use their splitting ability to break the normal enemy cap. On the Corpus Gas City tile set, you can hack some specific terminals in this room to activate this giant shock trap. Also on the Jupiter tile set, you can find 2 domestic drones named Daphnis and Chloe under this elevator. Certain hives in the Hive Sabotage mission type only appear during either the Patient Zero quest or when played as a Syndicate mission. The hives in question are the Stabilization Hive, the Lancing Hive, and the Security Hive. The Saturn VI Captura scene is the only place in the game where this skybox appears. If you play a mission on Phobos and then return to your orbiter, you can still see old Deimos in the distance. Strangely enough, ship killer platforms in Grineer Railjack missions will target allied ships. If Loki uses his tactical menu ability while piloting the railjack, the resulting decoy shows up as the pilot's chair instead of being Loki himself. You can use the tactical menu in railjack to hack nearby turrets, both interior and exterior. In Corpus missions, you can also use this menu to shut down laser barricades. You can detonate Kuva Brahma arrows mid-air by pressing the Alt-Fire button. Whenever Vauban's Bastille expires, it spawns a vortex that lasts for 2 seconds. However, if you hold 4 and manually turn the Bastille into a vortex, it will always last the full duration, no matter how close the Bastille was to expiring. When enemies melee strike you while you're blocking, you have a chance to parry them. This causes them to be stunned and briefly opened up to finishers. There's even a mod called Parry that increases the odds of this happening. When playing the crashed Corpus ship tile set on Neptune, no tiles will spawn that allow you to see the sky. That's because if you could, you would see Jupiter. This also goes for the Grineer Sea-Lab tile set on the node Mariana, as while the mission is on Earth, the sky would show Uranus. You can use Garuda's Blood Altar on conservation targets. Honestly, what the fuck, why is this allowed? In Iron Wake, Clem and the test Moa Popcorn can be found in this little tent. You can ride around on in-mission domestic drones, as well as their cousins, like the Construction Drone and the Fuser Drone. Kuva Nukor makes enemy body parts grow, kinda like the Peculiar Growth mod. Oh yeah, peculiar mods are a thing. Operators can destroy the magnetic bubbles that spawn in sabotage missions. On the infested ship tile set, you can find these terminals that spit out allied MOAs when hacked. Claw-type melee weapons have a unique finisher animation on Ancients, but no finisher animation at all for Chargers. Despite losing his hand in The Taking, Parvos Granum is shown with both of his hands in the later tenet, The Gemstone. Direct hits from the Daikyu guarantee an impact proc. You can backflip to cancel the effects of Volt Speed. Wait, isn't this one a tooltip? Fuck! You can roll to cancel a melee attack pretty much anywhere in the animation. This is namely helpful for the Rip and Ride combo available on the Ghoul Saw, as you can cancel the slam attack at the end. Alright, that's everything. Thank you to everybody who left suggestions for this video on my community tab, and please leave suggestions of your own in the comments section. I've been considering making this a sort of series, so if you'd like to see that, then let me know. Anyways, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, dislike if you think it sucked, and subscribe if you hate yourself. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Hydron, probably. Shit's like a second job at this point.
Nitro has so many fucking, like, weird, obscure rules. No! Bitch!